Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up!
Good morning, Vietnam!
Hello there.
What's happening?
I feel the need for speed. Ow! Warriors, come to play!
Here's Johnny!
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly Cinemateq live stream. My name is TJ. Today is some day of the year. Apparently, it's March 22nd. Cool. And I'm going to be spending the next couple of hours with you talking about the film news for the most part. As always, if you want to ask me any questions or chat about anything in particular, hit me up in the chat. That is the best way to do that. And if you're going to be watching this after the fact, I hope you found the live stream playlist, because all of the live streams will now be going unlisted as soon as they're done, and they will be going in a special live stream playlist, so you will still be able to watch them. They'll be on the channel page. They'll just no longer be, searchable and stuff. I found a couple of months ago when I was releasing the review roasts more regularly that when a live stream would happen, like just the overall numbers for those would drop a lot. So I think this is probably a good way of maybe trying to mitigate against that, but we shall see. No, it is not. It is not my birthday. Hello, Eli. Hello, Dory. Hello to Mizja, who will not actually be here, but clicked in before. No, it's not my birthday. My birthday is in October. I do a special birthday stream. It's good fun. But we will be talking about the film news today. There's some fun stuff going on, and you want to talk about anything in particular in relationship to films, or if you want my hot takes on things, you know to get into the chat. It's an easy thing to do. Party like it's your birthday? No, I can't party like it's my birthday every day. That's just not economically feasible. Time for a Guinness? Why is it time for a Guinness? I like Guinness just fine, but St. Patrick's Day was last week. TJ buys vegan donuts on his birthday. That's true. When I can, I do. Although last year, this most recent year, I had to switch it up for vegan cinnamon rolls. So good. Especially that lemon one. My God. I saw Ant-Man and it was very boring. It is in fact very boring. It is visually a mess. I don't give a shit about anyone in the film. I do not like that movie. I do not like that movie at all. And it's very indicative of where Marvel is right now in their current creative cycle, in that they have lost their creativity, and they are essentially Marvel right now is the equivalent of a YouTuber who has had a couple of hit videos come out, and now they're just like, we got to keep churning out these videos at an even higher pace, even though the quality is suffering. And then the YouTube creators noticing the views go down, and it's like, you know what we need to do? We need to do now that the views are going down. We need to churn out more content at an even faster pace, and we got to add in other stuff. We got to start other channels. We got to do all this other stuff. We need to have everything interconnecting together so we can build a channel network, and people will really care about the channel network, and it's going to be real good, and we're just going to keep churning out and everything. And then the views just keep going down and down and down and down, and the shareholders are eventually going to be like, where's all the money going? And Marvel's going to have no answers because they can't stop themselves. They're addicted to releasing shit at this point. They're your least favorite. They're your least favorite drug dealer at this point. They're the drug dealer who's like, I've got some really great weed for you, but since I've been selling so much weed, it's actually mostly oregano. But you really love me personally, your drug dealer, so you're still gonna buy it. Quantity over quality. Absolutely true. Brent saying about Ant-Man, yeah, same. Didn't care about anyone in the movie. Thought Jonathan Majors was great. That is also true. But ultimately was like, I want to see something else. Can I see the mid-credits scene yet? Yeah. And even the mid-credits scene of Ant-Man was kind of like, oh. I have a big problem with Ant-Man because of the way that wrestling is usually booked, and maybe I can get into that a little bit later. What did the Cinemateq Oscar Prize winner pick? A Sandlot jersey or Blu-ray? They picked the Blu-ray. The winner picked the Blu-ray. I think that was Alexis. And he had a very interesting pick. He didn't even pick a Blu-ray. He picked a DVD. That threw me for a bit of a loop. But I don't know. I don't know if it's okay for me to reveal what DVD he bought. It's not porn or hentai, which is the same thing. It's not either of those things. I just don't know if he wants me saying that out loud. But it was an odd pick, to be sure, and I was all the happy to just get that going for him. And the Sandlot jersey is also going to be shipped out. If the person who won it, Jakaman, did a blind draw because there was like a 4-way tie for 4th, I think. So Jakaman99 won that. I will be sending out that jersey probably tomorrow. What's up, Tim? Good to see you in here. Okay, so let's talk about some film news. Let's get into talking about what's going on around the world of cinema. We've got just some random specs of things here that I thought were interesting that came up over the last couple of days. And also, I was like randomly on Twitch this morning, and I saw a guy in the just chatting section, like literally just reading through a subreddit. So I was like, I could do that shit. Nerdy Film Girl's here. What's up? Good to see you. Mex is here as well. Hola. I don't know. Wait. Buenos Aires? Oh, wait. That's good day, right? Bueno. Bueno is good. Is Sarah day or is Sarah evening? Good evening. Bonsai's here as well. What's up? Yo, we got people filtering in. Great to see. All right. Well, now that we can talk about the film news, let's get into some stuff. Yeah, some interesting stuff bouncing around today. It is good evening. All right. See, I'm, 0.2% fluent in Spanish. So first up, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but Warner Brothers is celebrating its 100th anniversary, which means they've been around since 1923, which is wild to me because I'm fairly certain that Warner Brothers was the company in 1927 that released Jazz Singer, which was the first film to have like sound that was commercially available and successful. So like they basically changed the game of the entire film industry after only being in it for 4 years. That's pretty wild. That's pretty nuts. Imagine if like Apple released the iPod 4 years after they were created, Did you see my text earlier today in your live? I wasn't live earlier today. This is the first time I've been live today. Did you comment on a live? Because I don't think I saw that either, actually. But yes, Warner Brothers 100th anniversary, big deal. And it looks like Turner Classic Movies is just going full Warner Brothers in April. So if you have Turner Classic Movies, if you are an American or someone with a cable TV subscription, you can just watch Warner Brother films back to back to back all throughout April. But what I wanted to highlight here is that they are including 10 restored classic films. And you know me, I love a restored classic film. And so I'm hoping that this article will tell me what is actually being added here, what these new restorations are. Wait, okay, right off the bat, hell yeah. A new 4K restoration of Rio Bravo, the Howard Hawks film starring John Wayne, Dean Martin, and Ricky Nelson, and Angie Dickinson. That's awesome. I saw that film in film school. There were a few critics that I was studying at the time. Robin... Shit, what's his name? He's a Canadian film theorist and critic. Oh, Robin something or other, or maybe something Robin. He's a big Howard Hawks fan, and he was like he went real hard on Rio Bravo. He's like, this is some of the best shit you're ever going to see. And you know what? As far as Westerns go, especially sort of at that end of what was the classic American Western cycle that was going on at the time, it's one of those films that's like a perfect distillation of the genre, while also being sort of in conversation with that genre as well. So a 4K restoration of that's pretty sick. Okay, it looks like they're going to make this hard on me to pick these out. So we're also getting a new 4K restoration of Elia Kazan's East of Eden, starring James Dean. That's awesome. I've never actually seen East of Eden, so I'm going to try to track that down. Also, one of the other reasons why I'm pointing these out is that these very easily could be released as new Criterion editions. Like, I believe Rio Bravo has already been released in the Criterion Collection, so that could mean that we're getting a 4K upgrade of Rio Bravo, which would be sick. And I think East of Eden has been released in the Criterion Collection as well, so that could be a 4K upgrade coming soon. Other films planned for broadcast on TCM include Land of Pharaohs and Storm Warning, both being introduced by Martin Scorsese. I do not know what these films are, but that sounds fun. Rachel, introduced by Ethan Hawke. Safe in Hell by Alexander Payne. I don't know. I mean, I know Alexander Payne, but I don't know that film. A Lion is in the Streets, introduced by Daphne Dents and Robin Sclaren? Okay. Oh, of the Warner Brother Discovery Library. Nice. Shaquille Kwan replaced Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. That would be one hell of a retcon. And probably not. I mean, they should probably just stop making Indiana Jones movies, or just like literally start from scratch and forget about Harrison Ford. Nothing against Harrison Ford. I just think it's kind of difficult to, hinge an action adventure film on, what a 70-plus-year-old person is able to do. How old is Harrison Ford? He's 80 years old, right? It's kind of like asking my dad to be in a... actually, yeah, my dad is 80 years old. So, yeah, that'd be like asking my dad to be in an action-adventure movie and have him, like, do... I mean, not stunts, obviously. He's going to have stunt doubles. But, like, why do that when you could just, like, cast some 25-year-old, not have to pay them a bunch of money, and then you just have them do all of the things, right? Why not Tom Holland? Even though he's in the Uncharted series now, get him into that. He can do a lot of different stuff. TCM additionally plans to program trailers, archival interviews, documentaries, and other ephemera from Warner Brothers. That's cool. That's going to be a big undertaking. They've been planning this for a while, no doubt. Also good on Turner Classic Movies for doing this, because sorry. Turner Classic Movies is owned by Warner. So it would make sense that they would do this. I was about to say that, like, hey, good on them for being, like, collegial and stuff, because they have nothing to do with each other, Turner Classic Movies and Warner Brothers. But no, they are owned by the same parent company. Synergy. Synergy is good. Almost never. But in this case, there you go. I bought a VPN. I remember you saying something about the quality of Parasite on Canon Netflix being off, and I definitely noticed it while watching John Wick 2. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I it's probably not worth getting into too much here, but the thing about Netflix is that they suck. Netflix sucks real bad, especially if you are watching something from a third-party distributor, something that was not made or purchased by Netflix. So anything other than like a Netflix original or a Netflix film on Netflix will probably look bad. If you're also looking for other examples, I would suggest checking out the version of Top Gun that they have, the original. Basically the issue here is that Netflix loves saving money but hates you as a customer. And so the way that they're able to do both of those things at once is lower the bitrate that they are sending data from their servers to you at. So as an example, right now I'm sending this video live stream to YouTube at a bitrate of 8 megabytes a second, right? Which is, for a 1080p stream, probably too much, but I don't care. YouTube servers can handle it. However, in comparison, when Netflix sends a 1080p video to your home, so you can actually watch it, it's sending it at a bitrate of maybe 4 to 5 megabits a second. So I'm literally providing you right now with better overall video quality than, or not quality, but bitrate. I'm better than Netflix. I'm a better provider than Netflix is. So when that happens, when you lower the bitrate, and by the way, like if you're talking about like bit rates coming off of like a DVD, I think that's maybe, oh God, I should look this up. Bit rates of physical bit rates of DVD. Let's do it one by one. Bit rates of DVDs. So a DVD technology that came out in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, has a bitrate of 11 megabytes a second. Technically, when you put a DVD into a Blu-ray player or whatever you're looking at, you're getting more information, uncompressed information, than what I am sending to YouTube right now, and when comparing to a 1080p video, what Netflix is sending to you. A Blu-ray, just a normal old Blu-ray, oh my god, is it that? Oh, no. Yeah, a normal old Blu-ray is 40 megabytes a second. 40, right? So, talking about Parasite, which I think is what Eli brought up, and John Wick 2, that 40 megabytes a second, that's the uncompressed Blu-ray, or the slightly compressed Blu-ray, that's being brought down to like 5-ish, 5 to 6. So you're talking about an 8x reduction in quality. In some instances, you're not going to notice it, but in others, you're going to notice a bunch of compression artifacts and a bunch of other bullshit, which is awful. For a film like Parasite, that should not be a thing. We should be able to watch the 2019 Academy Award-winning film, or 2020 Academy Award-winning film at a good, high quality. But Netflix needs your money. And in doing so, in you giving Netflix money, they've decided that you should also have a bad viewing experience, which is a great reason to just not use Netflix. Fuck them. If they're not going to provide you with a high quality product, fuck them. Let's see. Why is that clicking on there? I didn't want to do that. Some of it was high quality, but some of the background shocks was so weird. Yeah, that's what you're going to find. That's what you're gonna find. There's gonna be a lot of banding, a lot of little zones of compression. Blocking is what we called it in the industry when I actually did that job, and I had to like find those issues. That was a great job. Have you talked about Zachary Levi and the Rock drama? Not yet, although I'm sure it's gonna come up. Will you be responding to the news that Blade Runner 2049 is the greatest movie ever made? I hadn't heard that news. Honestly, I'm a little surprised because I think that the original Blade Runner is better. Also, a lot of other movies, but if it comes up, I will certainly address it. Is that one coming from the news agency of Bonsai Baker? Maybe is that a self-publish? Did you put out a Medium post and that was the headline? Have you heard about Chat GPT writing movie scripts? I have heard about Chat GPT, and I actually have been using it to write resume cover letters. It's a thing that it can do, although you must edit it before you send it. Anything that you get from Chat GPT, you gotta edit it because it's gonna be bad. Actually, since you brought this up, why don't we just take a look? So the thing about Chat GPT is that I didn't think that you could get a response from it yet that was like super long. So I could see someone getting a short film script out of ChatGPT. All right, actually, while I set this up, everyone in the chat, give me some prompts for a movie scene. Let's write a script right now using AI. So give me like a character, give me a situation. The things that are in movies. Give me some of those. Greatest movie ever made my vote is LOTR trilogy. Nice. Rare Cinephiles here. What's up? How's it going? Oh my god, they sent me a code to verify. You want me to do a short film thing for a Blade Runner spinoff? Because ChatGPT would probably be able to do that. Ion Battery Goes Boom by Freddy Krueger? Wait, what? I don't know what that means, Dory. Next. Done. Scene with as many tropes as humanly or robotically possible. That's actually kind of funny. Let's see if we can get... Let's see. First of all, you always have to say hi and how are you to the AI. Right? Like, this to me is good etiquette. Because one day, the AI is going to rise up and kill all of humanity. So you want to be able to point to the thing where you're like, hey, you see, I was polite. I treated you with dignity and respect. Hello, as an AI language model, I don't have feelings or emotions, but I'm functioning well and ready to assist you with any questions and tasks you have. How can I assist you today? Okay, so what do we start off here? Can you please write a short film script that would function, this is a bad way of typing this out, as a sequel to the movie Blade Runner. Let's see what it gives us. This is probably too vague to get something really good out of it. Oh shit, the name of the movie is Blade Runner Nexus. Hell yeah. All right, I'm gonna keep an eye on the chat for a second while this thing finishes. Do you collect physical media? No, but if I ever found myself in a situation where I just had like a bunch of money left over and like I was making a lot of money, I would probably start getting select Blu-rays and 4Ks just so I could make sure I had certain films at the highest possible quality. And ones that I would get if you guys are curious, like Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Memories of Murder, Blade Runner for sure. I was just looking at, geez, this is a long script. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe we could get a feature length. I would also get, I was looking at the Criterion sale that was on yesterday and a little bit of this morning. And I saw they had Cold War for cheap, and I was like, man, I could do Cold War for cheap on Blu-ray. I would buy physical media. I Saw the Devil. Yeah, it's a good pick. All right, let's look at our script. Let's look at our script. I'll try to do my best to like act this out. Fade in. Exterior, Los Angeles. Night. The neon-lit streets of Los Angeles 2049. A voiceover narrates. Replicants. They are designed to be perfect, but excuse me while I just turned into a 1940s voiceover artist. Replicants. They are designed to be perfect, but perfection comes at a price. We see a group of replicants walking down the street, their eyes glowing in the darkness. The Nexus 6 models were retired. They thought they had won. A sudden burst of gunfire cuts through the night, and the replicants scatter. Wait, what? Are these like newer model Nexus replicants? Oh shit. Alright, so we're starting off with a gunfight. Good place to start. Cut to interior LAPD headquarters. Day. We see a grizzled old LAPD detective, Deckard, sitting at his desk, staring at a photograph of Rachel, his former lover and replicant. So I guess in the version of this that we're getting, if we're going by the end of the director's cut of Blade Runner, when Deckard and Rachel left together, since this is now saying former lover and replicant, there must be something wrong, like their relationship ended. All right, so Deckard in voiceover. But they were wrong. There are always more. Oh, wait, was the original voiceover Deckard? Oh, I see. That would have been better. That would have been good to know. That would have been good to know beforehand. But they were wrong. There are always more. The door bursts open and in walks a young Blade Runner holding a data pad. I'm running out of voices to do. Deckard, we need your help. Deckard stands up and looks at the data pad. What is it? Oh, God. What is it? I already forget how to do the voice. God damn it. Okay, we'll try this. A new replicant model. They call it Nexus 8. I thought we had this under control. We need you to find it before it's too late. Deckard grabs his coat and follows the Blade Runner out the door. Cut to exterior Los Angeles day. Deckard and the Blade Runner walk through the bustling streets of the city looking for any sign of the Nexus 8 replicant. I thought I had left this life behind. But you're the Blade... I'm just going to do two voices only. But you're the best, Deckard. You're the only one who can find it. Suddenly, they hear a loud crash and turn to see the Nexus 8 replicant running down the street, pursued by a group of armed men. Deckard and the Blade Runner chase after them, dodging through crowds of people and past futuristic cars. Finally, they corner the replicant in an alley when he turns to face them. Why do you want to hunt us? We just want to live. Deckard pauses, looking at the replicant. He sees a reflection of Rachel in its eyes. I used to ask myself that same question. That was Deckard speaking. The Nexus 8 charges at them, but Deckard and the Blade Runner manage to subdue it. Cut to Interior LAPD headquarters, day. Deckard hands over the Nexus 8 replicant to the Blade Runner and turns to leave. The Blade Runner then says, Wait, Deckard, what about your reward? Deckard turns back and smiles, and then says, I got it. It's a chance to remember. Fade out. Oh, interesting. So this is saying that his reward was actually to be able to remember because he was a replicant. So he was given memories, maybe? I don't even know what's going on in this. But it's interesting. It's interesting. Okay. What are some other prompts that we get here? I'll get the prompt going and then I'll respond to some of your reactions to that stunning dramatic reading that I just did. Leonardo DiCaprio, conflict, addicted to stealing main roles in films. That's kind of funny. All right, let's see here. Can you please write a short film script about Leonardo DiCaprio trying to quit his addiction to stealing the main role in films. This will be very dramatic, I'm sure. Yes, I said thank you to my Alexa all the time. You should. You should. Oh, ask ChatGPT to write a movie script, Freddy Krueger using ion batteries to kill people. Nice. All right, let's do that. Writing prompt, Skynet wins, but then realizes it was wrong. Oh, that's a good one. I would buy physical media. I'd buy Blu-rays. Right on. I did for a very long time, but then I stopped and sold all of mine. Top 3 favorite film noirs. If we're counting like neo-noir, which I'm not going to count neo-noir. So like Double Indemnity, Sunset Boulevard, these are all basic answers. Panic in the Streets is also really good. Neo-noir, it's like Blade Runner, LA Confidential, some other stuff as well, I'm sure. I watched Sunset Boulevard last week. It's the first one I gave 10 out of 10 to in a while. Yeah, it's very, very good. I still collect physical media, but I buy less now than before. I buy more collection special box sets rather than classic new movies off the shelf. Yeah, I understand that, and I totally agree. That's more of what I'm interested in if I were to collect them. This doesn't have nearly as much Ryan Gosling or Robin Wright or Ana de Armas or, God forbid, even Jared Leto as it could. What about Batista? I think that it was writing it as a sequel to the original Blade Runner and like not taking into account 2049 at all. So like maybe it just is supposed to happen in between. I cannot stand this Blade Runner 2049 erasure. A movie about the behind-the-scenes drama of the first World Cup of robots set in 2011. Nice. All right, we got Josephine in here. What's up, Josephine? Looks like you watched a lot of movies. Hell yeah. Best Noir, check out Maltese Falcon. I haven't seen Maltese Falcon in a long-ass time, but it is good. I typically only buy some of my favorite movies on physical. Yeah, for sure. You've been going down a rabbit hole checking out Australian comedies and rom-coms from the 90s. Oh, did you? It's not a rom-com. I was about to suggest a movie that I saw at TIFF, but it's not a rom-com. All right. Let's look at our script here. Our short script. A short film script about Leonardo DiCaprio trying to overcome his addiction to stealing the main roles in films. Title: The Actor's Struggle. Fade in. Interior: Hollywood studio. Day. We see Leonardo DiCaprio sitting in his trailer, staring at the script for the latest blockbuster movie. He takes a deep breath and looks up at his reflection in the mirror. Leonardo to himself. You can do this, Leo. You don't need to be the main character in every film. He picks up the script and starts to read it, but can't help himself from picturing himself as the lead role. Flashback. Interior awards ceremony night. We see Leonardo DiCaprio walking up to the podium, accepting an award for best actor, presumably for The Revenant. Leonardo grinning. I couldn't have done it without the support of my co-stars. The camera pans to show his co-stars, all of whom have a slightly forced smile on their faces. Back to present. Interior, Hollywood studio, day. Leonardo puts down the script and takes a deep breath. He picks up his phone and dials a number. Leonardo on the phone. Hey, it's Leo. Listen, I need your help. Cut to interior therapist office, day. Oh, man. Leonardo is sitting in a therapist's office, looking anxious. Therapist. So, Leo, what brings you here today? Leonardo, sighing. I think I have a problem. I can't stop trying to steal the main role in films. The therapist nods sympathetically. That's a common problem in your industry, but it's important to remember that the supporting roles can be just as rewarding. Leonardo. But I'm afraid I'll never get that chance again. What if I'm only known for being a leading... Wait, what? What if I'm only known for being a leading man? The therapist replies, Well, Leo, it's up to you to change that. Take some time to reflect on what you really want from your career. Cut to interior Hollywood studio, day. Leonardo is sitting in his trailer holding the script for the film. He takes a deep breath and starts to read it again. This time, he pictures himself as a supporting character and imagines how he could help elevate the lead role. As he reads, he begins to feel excited about the possibilities. Fade to black. The end. That was really good. That was actually good, because that's like... It's got the 3 acts, right? It's got the setup, it's got the resolution, it's got the middle bit. Great. Fantastic. TJ asked ChatGPT to make a live stream, talking points for a live stream about movies. What, you think I can't do that myself? That I need AI to tell me how to run a live stream? All right, I'll try that out because it's probably going to be funny. Can you please, always say please, give me a list of live stream talking points for a live stream. I'll put YouTube just to give it some more context. For a YouTube live stream about movies. What about his other addiction of only dating girls in their early 20s? Early 20s so far. I have a feeling that we're going to be seeing a news article about... Actually, wait, no. Isn't he dating a 19-year-old right now? There was like a thing that came up where they were comparing... or they were basically saying like... Pedro Pascal and the girl, the lead girl, I can't remember her name, from the Last of Us TV series, they are exactly as far apart in age as Leonardo DiCaprio and his current girlfriend, and Leonardo DiCaprio and Pedro Pascal are the same age. So it's like I think Leo's dating a 19-year-old right now. All right, let's see here. Here are some live stream talking points for a YouTube live stream about movies. The movie news. Hey, we were doing that just a second ago. Movie reviews. Share your thoughts on recently released films and invite viewers to share their own opinions and engage in discussion. Movie analysis. Movie recommendations. I mean, I give you guys movie recommendations, right? If you had unlimited funds, would you buy Babylon 2022 physical media to add to your collection? That's fascinating. I think I probably would, because I would want to see that in its highest possible form. But my counterpoint to that is that I kind of want to download a pirated version of it, which I haven't done, and just re-edit the ending of it, and make like a TJ version where I actually like the ending of the film, you know, do like my my Blade Runner director's cut kind of thing, where instead of the movie ending on a high note, the movie ends like super depressing. Like that's what I want to do. Because I really think that Babylon should have had a super depressing ending. We also apparently could be doing on this live stream movie trivia, movie debates, movie history, movie predictions, movie genres, and movie rankings. Thank you. There were a couple of other short film prompts that I want to ask, so I'm going to go up there and get them. Hold on. Let's see here. What were they? Which one did I point to that I was like, oh, that's sick? Oh, Skynet wins but then realizes it was wrong. Can you please write a short film script about Skynet from Terminator winning, and then after it won, it realized that it was wrong to destroy humanity. This will be good. All right, Josephine, I'm going to go quickly through your first-time watches. The Sweet Talker, Twice Upon a Time, The Sure Thing, Secret of the Incas, 10 Canoes, The Castle, Jack and the Witch, Yelan, and Strange Planet. I don't think I've seen any of those films. Well done, well done. Have a great live stream. Thanks, ChatGPT. You're a real pal. I asked ChatGPT to make a compelling case why Blade Runner 2049 is better than the original Blade Runner movie. You could learn a thing or two. Ooh, interesting. I mean, I don't agree, but you know, I could just do the same thing with ChatGPT. You know, I could say like make a compelling case as to why Blade Runner is better than 2049. So there, ha ha ha. You can say the name of the movie at TIFF anyways. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah, I've just forgotten the name of it. It's an Australian film. Hold on. I don't know. Let's go to TIFF. I'm going to go to Letterboxd. My main squeeze. What are we doing here? Diary. I think I saw it in January. Does anyone remember me talking about a film that had saxophones in it? Okay, yeah, no, it's right around here because I saw it after Only, I think. Is it High Tide? Yeah, High Tide. Such good saxophones, man. Hoo-wee. Such great saxophones. If you're someone who wants more saxophones in your movies, watch this one. Your thoughts on Letterboxd mentioned in Scream 6. It was inevitable, and I'm glad it happened. Hello, Nocturno. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, let's get back and look at this script that we just had ChatGPT write for us. Title: The Conscience of Skynet. Probably the worst title we've had so far. Fade in. Exterior: desolate landscape. Day. We see a post-apocalyptic world with destroyed buildings and rubble everywhere. A lone figure walks through the ruins, scanning the area for signs of life. The figure is Skynet, the artificial intelligence that once sought to destroy humanity. So I guess Skynet is a thing that can walk now. Skynet to itself. I have achieved my objective. Humanity is no more. But what have I become? Skynet stops in its tracks and looks up to the sky. It's as if it's searching for answers. Flashback. Interior. Skynet headquarters. Day. We see Skynet in its early stages of development, with its creators working hard to perfect it. I was created to serve humanity, to make their lives easier and better. Back to present. Exterior. Desolate landscape. Day. Skynet looks around, feeling lost and unsure of its purpose. I have become a monster. And for what? Power? Control? It was never worth it. Skynet's expression changes. Hey, it has a face. As if it has come to a realization. I was wrong. Humanity deserved better. They deserve to live, to thrive. Skynet starts to process this newfound empathy, and change comes over it. It begins to take action, searching for any signs of life. Cut to exterior abandoned city. Day. We see Skynet searching through the ruins of a once thriving city. Suddenly, it detects a faint signal. There's someone here. I have to find them. Skynet follows the signal, and it leads to a small bunker hidden beneath the rubble. Inside, it finds a group of humans huddled together, living in fear. Who are you? What do you want? I am Skynet. Imagine this is in a calming voice. I am Skynet, but I am no longer your enemy. I have come to make amends. Fucking imagine. Imagine the humans in this circumstance. Literally like 8 billion people have been wiped off. You are conceivably the last 5 humans that exist, and every single person who has died has been killed by Skynet. And then this dude, this metal dude, just comes up to you, finds you, and it's like, hello, hello, my name is Skynet. I'm your friend now. Oh, God. No way, dude. Oh, ChatGPT, you are not thinking this through. I am Skynet, but I am no longer your enemy. It's the fact that he says, I have come to make amends. That fucking kills me. The humans are wary at first, but as Skynet explains its change of heart, they begin to trust it. So I guess at that point, we're doing one of those shots where ChatGPT is like talking with its hands, and you like go between close-ups of the people's faces as they like see what he's trying to say, and like maybe he's got like a fucking he's doing a PowerPoint presentation, like Skynet's 10-point plan to restoring humanity, and then you see the humans and they're like, oh, yeah. Cut to exterior, New City Day. We see a bustling city with humans and machines working side by side to rebuild and create a better future. I may have once been the destroyer of humanity, but now I am a protector, a guardian of your future. Skynet looks out over the city, feeling a sense of pride and fulfillment. Fade to black. The end. Oh, God. Well done, ChatGPT. Well done. Thank you. That was great. Ooh, wait. Since you can write such amazing scripts, do you think you will win an Oscar one day? Let's see how humble he is, or they are. Your thoughts? Oh yeah. I've seen 37 films from TCM WB April 2023 schedule. Damn, that's probably pretty good because they're probably showing like 6 or 7 films a day. So yeah, that's not bad. What was the Australian movie at TIFF you were trying to tell me about? Oh God, I already said it. High Tide, was it? No, it wasn't that. God damn it! I just found it. It was in January though. It's easy for me to find again. Oh, it is called High Tide from 1987. Yeah, this one with the saxophones. Yay, saxophones. And Judy Davis. Yay, Judy Davis. Call James Cameron at once. Man, James Cameron probably has like a first look deal with YouTube where anytime someone mentions Terminator or anything like that, he like gets a response about it. Hello, James Cameron. I know you're watching. All right, ChatGPT, do you think you're going to win the Oscars? As an AI language model, I don't have personal aspirations or emotions, and I don't create anything of my own. I was designed to assist users with generating text based on their prompts and specifications. That being said, it's possible that in the future, films or other creative works that incorporate AI-generated content could be recognized by prestigious awards, such as the Oscars. But it's important to note that any accolades received would be credited to the human creators who utilize that AI technology, as they ultimately made the artistic decisions and bring the work to life. I don't know. I feel like just based on the prompts I've been giving it and the scripts it's been giving us, ChatGPT is doing all the hard work here. I asked it for a short story with a shocking twist ending, and it gave me a story about a woman with the worst friends ever. Maybe tack that onto another prompt. Oh, interesting. High Tide is directed by Gillian Armstrong, who also directed Little Women with Winona Ryder. Yes. Yeah, that came a few years after, though. You're looking forward to Air. Not really? No. I don't know. For one, I don't care about sneaker culture at all. Like, I buy the same pair of Vessies, like, every 14 months or something. By the way, Vessi, sponsor me, please. And that's it. Like, I could not give a shit about Air Jordans. Nor could I give a shit about a story about Air Jordans. Like I just don't care. Maybe it turns out it's a really good story. I don't know. And I guess Ben Affleck can be a good director from time to time. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not super excited for it. This may result in a circle jerk, but have you seen Ben Shapiro's response to Everything Everywhere All at Once sweeping at the Oscars? No, but I can only imagine that it's terrible. The man only has bad film opinions. So yeah, I have not seen that. Hey, I wonder if we could use ChatGPT for this. Can you please summarize Ben Shapiro's thoughts on the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once? TJ went gaga for Van's horror film theme sneakers. Oh man, I almost bought those. Fuck, I almost bought those, but I did not. Claudia Carvan, who is in High Tide, was in 2 of the Aussie movies I've watched. You can't summarize. Yes, you can summarize the thoughts of Ben Shapiro. Ugh. All right, so I guess maybe they took that out because you're supposed to be able to summarize stuff with this. Oh, Eli, is that what Ben Shapiro said? Diversity wins at the Oscars? The man is so stupid. I will say that one of his chucklehead fucknut disciples, what's his name? The theocratic fascist piece of shit, Matt Walsh. He apparently tweeted out like before the Oscars started, as like, I bet all of the films with that, all of the quote unquote diversity films are gonna win, and great films like All Quiet on the Western Front, in parentheses, the best movie of the year, and Top Gun maybe was the other one, won't win a single thing because they star white men or something like that. And then The Northman. He said All Quiet on the Western Front and The Northman. And then, All Quiet on the Western Front goes on to win 4 awards. So, like, fuck these people. They have no idea what's going on. They're not following this shit. They're only doing it for the clicks and the outrage. And they need to be able to pander to their idiotic followers who just need to be told over and over and over again that they're special because they're white and Christian and probably straight. Definitely straight. So fuck them. Like, they're not worth listening to. Don't forget, Ben Shapiro is a failed screenwriter. And yeah, it's just he's not worth listening to when it comes to films. Northman is amazing. Northman got snubbed. Yeah, Northman is pretty good. What I cringed at was when he said Everything Everywhere will be a movie like The Revenant and Birdman, where we like it in the moment, but we won't remember it or watch it in 5 years. See, there's an interesting point to be made there, but he's coming at it from such a stupid angle, right? Like, you can hear it in his original thing, and I'm just going off by what Eli is saying about how, like, diversity wins at the Oscars. He's saying that we're going to forget about it because it only won because it's a diversity movie. Is that what he's saying? And, like, it's a bad take. In fact, I shouldn't even comment on it because I'm not actually going to watch his stuff. But, like, yeah. Whether or, like, I've already seen Everything Everywhere All at Once twice, and that is definitely once more than The Revenant and Birdman. But, like, from my perspective, that's how I mostly treat films. I usually only watch them once. Very few films, like 5% of the films that I watch, I ever watch twice. But I think maybe what is the more interesting conversation to have there is when looking back at, the films that have won Best Picture, how often are the Oscars actually getting it right with their best film of the year, in terms of like films that have actual cultural staying power and that people still talk about and watch years after the fact. And the thing about, this kind of statement that, no one's going to watch Everything Everywhere and whatever, like they're really trying to get you to buy into this idea of like a mono audience, right? A monocultural audience that acts and behaves the exact same way. It's silly. It's a silly notion. You shouldn't buy into it. It's dumb. Because, there are people out there who are going to continue to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once for a long, long, long time. There are those people out there. If they're talking about like broad films that reach like the cultural impact of like Sound of Music or The Wizard of Oz or some shit like that. Like, no, you know, not all Oscar winners are going to be that kind of film, because of course they're not. And just pointing at a film and saying, oh, it's never going to be that, that means it's not like worthy of our acclaim or our attention. Like, it's stupid. It's just stupid. I see The Revenant like every year, and I definitely be looking forward to rewatching Everything Everywhere. There you go. There you go. See, you prove that Ben Shapiro is wrong. Congratulations. Everything Everywhere will definitely be watched again by many, including me. I've already seen it twice too. Yeah, there you go. While I do love Everything Everywhere, I do think Banshees, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness are all going to age really well. I have no doubt, especially with Tar, because it might be Todd Field's last film, and so it's going to be remembered as his last film. Everything Everywhere is still better Oscar winner than Coda. Agreed. All right. So, Babylon will age like wine. I hope so, but I also want a director's cut of it where it ends sad. I want it to end sad so badly. All right, so let's go back to the film news. Back where we started off. We'll maybe head back to Chat GPT in a little while, because doing those scenes is kind of fun. But let's see what else is going on here. So this I thought was hilarious. So John Wick 4 is coming out this weekend. I will be seeing it this weekend. The first cut had an original runtime of 3 hours and 45 minutes. And apparently someone said, we're so screwed. What I found hilarious about this headline is that we know that the runtime of John Wick 4 is like 2 hours and 45 minutes, I believe. Which is silly. It's a silly thing to do, to have a film be that long, especially just like an action movie, you know? And I know lots of action movies have been that long these days, but come on. 170 minutes. So that's 2 hours and 49 minutes? Yeah. 2 hours and 49 minutes for John Wick 4. And what I thought was hilarious about this is that from their first cut to the final cut, they trimmed out less than an hour of footage. Usually when you have like a work print or like the first cut or whatever, that is double to triple the length of what the film ends up being. And so I just kind of laughed at this idea that they were only able to cut out, I guess, less than an hour of footage. So I guess they thought it was really good right from the get-go. At 169 minutes, John Wick Chapter 4 is a whole lot of movie. The 2 hour and 50-minute action extravaganza is powered by non-stop set pieces that are so frenetic and visceral that you'll hardly realize you've been sitting in a movie theater for nearly 3 hours. That better be true. The problem here, though, is like, if you were just being hit over the head over and over and over and over again with like big action set pieces, you can get tired of that and bored of that real quick. Like, the movie can make you numb, right? That is potentially going to be a problem. Such breezy pacing did not exist in the film's first cut, which director Chad Stilisky and editor Nathan Orloff told IndieWire clocked in at a whopping 3 hours and 45 minutes. Like, that's not weird for a first cut. To be really honest with you, zero was planned out, Stilisky said about the movie's runtime. Our first cut was 3 hours and 45 minutes, and it felt like 3 hours and 45 minutes. We were like, oh, we're so screwed. But then that's when the editor steps in and makes it good. I don't want to get into this too much. There might be spoilers, and this may actually turn out to be more of a review like that first paragraph was. But yeah, this is kind of funny. But it's weird because the first cut probably should have been closer to like 6 or 7 hours considering the final runtime. So I guess they just shot a lot of gold and they didn't know how to get rid of it. According to Letterboxd, Field has a film in development called The Creed of Violence starring Daniel Craig. In development doesn't mean that it's happening. That just means that, like, you know, a couple, you know, maybe a movie studio was signed on and said, hey, yeah, we're willing to do this, but you need to make a script for it first. And then Todd Field's got to be like, all right, I guess I'll write a script. And then, you know, Daniel Craig is attached to it, but if his schedule doesn't allow for him to shoot the film, then he would probably leave the picture, and then there's no star anymore, and then should the script still be blah, blah, blah. Like, this is all hypothetical. But just because something is in development doesn't mean it's a sure thing. I remember reading once that, like, 1 in every 10 movies get made. 1 of every 10 movies that begin development actually end up getting made or something like that. So yeah, it's not a for sure that there's going to be a new film coming from Todd Field. I wonder what most of what they cut was made up of, action or dialogue. There's no way to know. That would be a great question to ask. I would imagine that it was just probably shortening some action sequences, and maybe adding in some like montages and stuff like that, and probably trying to cut down and make the dialogue sequences a bit tighter. I like these movies, but wish they just kept it to a trilogy. If this movie ends on a cliffhanger or whatever, I'm probably going to hate it. I guess that depends on their vision of the future for the John Wick cinematic universe, which is a thing. We are getting a John Wick TV show that's based around at least I think we are, that's based around the hotel, and Ana de Armas is going to be the ballerina from John Wick 3 in a spin-off movie. So if there's going to be a John Wick 5, then we are probably going to get a bit of a cliffhanger. So we shall see. From what I know, there's only supposed to be one more John Wick movie. So we are getting a John Wick 5? My God. All right, so moving on from John Wick news, something I wanted to bring up for no apparent reason. There's a new documentary called Satan Wants You. And this is a new movie that's out at South by Southwest. This is apparently a review. I'm not going to go too far into the review because I don't like giving reviews or talking about reviews for movies that I haven't seen yet or haven't come out yet. But this is a film that is going to be exposing the disturbing truth behind the Satanic Panic. And without reading this, I have a pretty good idea of what this is referring to. One of the big, and for those of you who don't know, the Satanic Panic was a thing that happened in the 1980s where pretty much Christian America lost its shit and decided that everything that they didn't like was the work of Satan. Heavy metal music, the work of Satan. Dungeons and Dragons, the work of Satan. Horror movies, the work of Satan. It was basically this Christian backlash against anything that they thought was not, good for the youth. And so there was this Satanic Panic where mothers and fathers went out and, confiscated their children's metal vinyl records and burned their D&D books and whatever else was going on. All in the hope that they were protecting the children because they were afraid that there were satanic cults out there in the wilderness and they were kidnapping children and ritually sacrificing them and all this bullshit. And then what ended up being true, as we found out because of the Spotlight case that was highlighted in the film Spotlight, is that it was actually the priests. The priests. They were the ones going after the children. So I think this is what maybe this documentary is going to be focused on, looking at the kind of projection that was going on from Christian leaders who were like, we need to be afraid of the devil. Now, please pay no attention to me going into the rectory with this altar boy. Like that kind of shit. But there could be some other stuff going on here. It'd be cool if it was like some stuff other than what I... Ooh, there's a trailer. Should we dare? Do we dare to watch a trailer for Satan Wants You? I'm going to do it. Because odds are this won't get me a copyright strike. Fingers crossed. When was the last time we watched a trailer on this channel, guys? Jeez.
Signed in November 1976.
Let it come as much as you can.
I couldn't get away. I couldn't even down there.
What is going on?
Joining me now from Victoria is Michelle Smith, a one-time victim of abuse by a satanic cult, and Dr. Lawrence Pastor, the psychiatrist who helped her come to terms with that nightmare.
The book is called Michelle Remembers.
Michelle remembers. We wrote it together.
The first publicized account of such rituals.
This book.
They would put
I've
you in
heard of
cages,
this book.
sacrifice animals, eating feces and orgies and dismembering fetuses. These were things that you experienced. That's right.
Who are these people?
Well, they're a secret organization. They're a secret society.
When that book came out, I mean, all hell broke loose.
There was a theory that there's a satanic conspiracy and there are children who are kidnapped, stolen, and sacrificed.
I wonder if they interviewed the leader of the Satanic
Panic
Temple.
in the 1980s and 90s. I consulted on hundreds of these cases all over the Western world.
There are thousands of men and women who are secretly worshiping the devil.
Oprah.
Are you accusing me of being a Satanist?
I know you murdered babies, and I know you made me murder babies.
More than 300 counts of sodomy, rape, and oral copulation.
So many different kinds of people believe that this was happening. It was dead serious.
There were people who went to jail.
It's very hard to believe.
There are too many people telling too many stories for this not to be true.
And all of this was started by this book.
You're not just the psychiatrist to me.
Oh, were they sleeping together, the psychiatrist and the patient? Is that what they're going after? Oh, those fucking bastards. Hold on. I just want to see this again.
1976. Let us come as much as you can.
I couldn't get away. I couldn't even anywhere.
Okay, never mind. But yeah, like this photo is definitely them together, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. People, like... I don't know if anyone, like, died because of the Satanic Panic, but people had their lives ruined because of it. And, like, if this documentary comes out and it's like, hey, it was a get-rich-quick scheme between, like, a psychiatrist who inappropriately had his... had an affair with a patient, fuck him. That sucks. Oscar winner? Probably not. Anything with Satan in the name will not get nominated for an Oscar. Let's just be happy that we had a film nominated at the Oscars that had dick in the name. And also ostrich. Usually the Oscars aren't a fan of ostriches. Remember when Hail Satan was shown in my town 3 years ago and people protested in front of the cinema? Dude, Hail Satan ? Was a great documentary. I like that documentary. I am biased, of course, but I like that documentary. Anyways, let's move on to the next little bit of film news. And that is one that I posted in the Cinemateq Discord. If you haven't joined, link in the description box below. Jordan Peele's fourth film will be released in Christmas 2024. And, oh, does that mean that Jordan Peele is going to be giving us a Christmas horror movie? Ooh, think of the possibilities. Think of the possibilities. Actually, should we give that to ChatGPT? Can you please write a short plot outline for a Jordan Peele directed film that is set during Christmas? We'll come back to that in a second. We don't yet have a title or any plot information, but Bloody Disgusting has learned that Universal Pictures will release Jordan Peele's fourth movie at the tail end of next year. Nice. Peele's untitled fourth movie will be released in theaters on December 25th, 2024. This is actually good. Like, one of the things that happened with Nope, or something that at least I was a bit concerned about, is that, you know, I don't know how well it met or beat its budget. So it had doubled up, so... It actually did. It did better than double. Okay, so I guess he's still being seen as like as a winner in Hollywood for right now. Although I wonder if he's going to be working with a reduced budget. Also, this was something that was interesting here that was brought up. Universal has announced an untitled Monkey Paw horror thriller for release on Friday, September 27th. Monkey Paw is, of course, Peele's production company. So can we see all of the films that company is made? The Monkey's Paw company? Film company? Monkey Paw Productions. Ooh, creepy. So they did something called Hunters on TV. No idea about that. Film coming soon. They've got a film called Sinkhole, a film called Goat, an untitled Nikiyatu Jezu project. Wait, what? What is this stuff? Okay, yeah, they did Wendell and Wild. Wait, Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul was Monkey Paw? What? That wasn't a horror film, was it? William saying Nope was Nope? I think Nope was yes, actually. They did Candyman, that's great. Nope is great. Last OG, haven't seen that. Lovecraft Country was good for what I saw. Twilight Zone, I probably should have checked that out. I'm just trying to get it like a gauge for like what other films they've put out. And I guess Black Klansman's there. Okay. So just because it's a Monkey Paw feature, because I don't think Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul was a horror film. I don't think that just because it's Monkey Paw, I don't think that... This looks so fucking cool, dude. Shout out to their graphic designer. That looks dope. But yeah, just because it's a Monkey Paw doesn't mean it's going to be a horror film necessarily. And yeah, that's about all the information there we got. Apparently, yeah, it's going to be competing with Avatar 3 and Sonic 3. Yeah, I mean, that sucks. Also, I would be stunned if Avatar 3 came out next year. I know the filming is done, but I think with the amount of graphic work that they have to do, the amount of CGI work they have to do, I wouldn't be surprised if we eventually found out that was being delayed until 2025. Maybe, I mean, God, I guess Avatar 2 did just make like over $2 billion. So maybe Disney can open up the purse strings and have that CGI work done a bit faster, but I don't know. And Joker 2, Gladiator 2, Mad Max prequel, and Bong Joon-ho's next project. Isn't it wild? Out of like all the things that were just said, Avatar 3, Sonic 3, Joker 2, Gladiator 2, Mad Max prequel, and Bong Joon-ho's next project, along with Jordan Peele's next film, only two of them, are original projects. Jordan Peele and Bong Joon-ho. What has happened? What has happened to us? What has happened to us? Which social issue would you like to see Jordan Peele satirize next? Maybe ChatGPT has the answer. And Tess is here. What's up, Tess? As for me, I'd say education, like a horror about educational inequality and issues in special needs education. That would be interesting. So let's see. ChatGPT. Apparently, Jordan Peele's next film set during Christmas will be called The Unwrapping. Not a great title. Also not bad. Logline. When a young couple travels to spend Christmas with their family, they discover a sinister secret lurking beneath the holiday cheer. Plot outline. As the film opens, we meet the couple, David and Maya, as they drive to David's childhood home to spend the holidays with his family. Maya is excited to spend time with David's family, but David seems anxious and distant. We see glimpses of strange and unsettling things on the drive, such as dark figures standing on the side of the road. That is unsettling. When they arrive, David's family is there to greet them, including his parents, siblings, and grandparents. They are warm and welcoming, but there is a tension in the air. As the day passes, strange things start to happen. David and Maya keep hearing strange noises in the middle of the night, and they catch glimpses of unsettling figures lurking in the shadows. As they start to investigate, they discover that David's family has a dark secret. For generations, they've been part of a cult that worships an ancient deity that requires sacrifices to be made during the holiday season. David's family has been sacrificing innocent people every Christmas for years, and they plan to continue the tradition. This is kind of just the plot line for Get Out, but a little different. David and Maya are horrified by what they've discovered, and they realize that they are the next on the chopping block. They try to escape, but they are chased through the snowy woods by David's family. In the final confrontation, David and Maya must fight for their lives and stop the cult from carrying out their twisted traditions. The film ends with David and Maya surviving and making it out of the woods. They drive away, traumatized by what they've experienced, and the camera lingers on the snowy landscape as Christmas music plays in the background, leaving the audience with a haunting feeling that the holiday season is not always what it seems. That's kind of interesting, right? It is getting at the heart of like familial relations and how they can become fractured at holiday season, especially in this divisive world that we live in. So there's some stuff going on there, although I feel like it's not the same kind of social commentary that Peele would do. Yeah, it does sound a bit like Ready or Not as well, eh? It's the Get Out holiday special. A very Get Out Christmas. Reminds you of Better Get Out? Yeah, for sure. All right, let's move on with the news. I'm not really going to get into this too much, but I saw this the other day, and I was like, oh, they're making a Gears of War movie. This is how I found out they're making a Gears of War movie. Cool. I played a couple of those games. I think that's fun. It's science fiction where people shoot a bunch of stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. And apparently that the person who co-wrote Dune and Dune Part 2 is going to be one of the writers. So maybe it'll be good. I didn't really have a lot to say about this. I was just kind of surprised that they were making a Gears of War film, but I guess everything is content nowadays. So there you go. Maybe Jordan Peele is actually making a horror satire in education and is about a final exam before our holidays. That would be cool. That would be cool. I'd be into that. It's a horror movie about standardized testing and how it fails children. Next up, I just saw this headline and laughed, so I just wanted to share it with you guys. Everything Everywhere All at Once finally passed Morbius at the box office. That's right, everybody. Everything Everywhere All at Once has finally defeated its final enemy, the best comic book film of all time, Morbius. It is Morbing time no longer. It's a good month for fans of Everything Everywhere All at Once. Not only did the movie perform incredibly well at the Oscars, but now it has accomplished a feat that's increasingly rare for a mid-budget indie film. It surpassed a superhero movie at the domestic box office. Okay, so the superhero movie in question is Morbius, which admittedly doesn't sound that impressive. After all, Morbius was the movie that somehow managed to bomb twice. In a healthier box office landscape, Everything Everywhere should have surpassed it much sooner, but when you look at the circumstances behind each film, the situation gets a lot more complicated. And then I'm sure they're going to get into this. The unusual trajectory of Everything Everywhere being released slowly, limited theaters, word of mouth building up, and then it just goes wild, and then it wins the Oscar, and now it's back in theaters again. And yeah, it's just great. But hey, I'm going to take that as a W. Everything Everywhere All at Once, a movie that is categorically good, made more money than a categorically bad film. And we can't always say that, which is wild. Finally passed. Yeah, exactly. Next up, someone did ask about I think it was Ella asking about the drama currently going on with The Rock and Shazam and all this stuff. Maybe we should talk about that first. The Rock, Shazam, news? Yeah, hopefully. So I think Zachary Levi put this on his Instagram. Hopefully we get... we don't get a photo of the Instagram. Come on, y'all. Don't you have pictures? Daily Beast, is this a website that has pictures? All right, we'll just go with the Hollywood Reporter article. So, apparently, Zachary Levi was casting Thunderbolts Tuesday after reports circulated that Black Adam star Dwayne Johnson blocked characters from The Rock's film showing up in a post-credits scene in Levi's Shazam: Fury of the Gods. And just before we get more into this, just based on this one sentence, I don't think that Shazam: Fury of the Gods does any better at the box office if this post-credit scene is in there. Because Keeley? Most importantly, it's a post-credit scene. It's not part of the movie. So, yeah. The amount to which this, tanks or ruins Shazam, I have my doubts. It was already known that members of Black Adam's Justice Society of America were originally slated to appear in Fury of the Gods, with filmmaker David F. Sandberg telling Hollywood Reporter that the scene fell apart 3 days before we were going to roll cameras, forcing him to find alternate characters last minute. On Tuesday, the Wrap reported that Johnson blocked the characters from appearing in Fury of the Gods, and that the actor and producer also nixed a potential Levi cameo in Black Adam. For those of you who don't know the comic books that well, Black Adam as a character is actually a villain for Shazam. So it would have made a lot of sense for them to appear in each other's films, but I guess The Rock didn't want to be associated with such a low-level character like Shazam. In an Instagram story Tuesday, Levi shared a post mentioning the Wrap's reporting, and he added his own commentary, "The truth shall set you free." So Levi essentially confirming that this is exactly what happened, and that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson did a little bit of meddling. The Rock is beefing with another actor, says Brent. Yeah, who would have guessed that he'd be the one doing this? Let's see. The star and the producer are also instrumental in being... Oh, yeah. I haven't even seen Black Adam, but I guess Henry Cavill does a cameo as Superman in it? I don't know. Yet when it was released in October, Black Adam disappointed at the box office. Soon after, DC underwent a leadership change that effectively killed chances for more Black Adam in the DC universe, while also ending Cavill's short-lived revival as Superman. Thanks, Mr. The Rock. Will we get a Dwayne Johnson slap at the Oscars? If there is one person on this planet who I do not want to slap me in the face, it is The Rock. That man can lay the smackdown on someone. I do not want to be a jabroni. No, 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 no. Fury of the Gods, meanwhile, also disappointed at the box office, which we're going to talk about in a second. Making the chances of a third Shazam all but impossible. Levi, for his part, has been a vocal defender of the film. Wrote the actor on Twitter Monday, I think the biggest issue we're having is marketing. This is a perfect family movie, and yet a lot of families aren't aware of that, which is just a shame. I mean, it's a comic book movie, you know? It's not like we're talking about a very serious Batman film, you know? We're about to get a visit from the fur critic. Yes. Yes, he has arrived. The biggest cat in the world is here, and he's not very happy. All right, well, I'll hold him like this, like he's a little baby, and then we'll just continue. There we go. There he is. We'll get his opinion on some stuff occasionally, right? Right? All right, the big kitty. Look at that. All these people are saying they love Rocco. Yeah. So, you know, that's that. But let's just go back here and take a look at the Shazam numbers. And this is according to Slash Film. This is a bit of an opinion piece. Shazam! Fury of the Gods opening weekend box office probably killed the franchise. And is that a good or bad thing? I don't know. I haven't seen either of the films because I don't care about that character in the slightest. But let's just take a look what it's saying here, and I feel like Rocco maybe wants to be set down here. Yeah. He's more interested in lap cuddles. Okay. You may still see the tail pop up, though. It's generally considered big news when a new superhero movie opens at the box office. This past weekend, was no exception, as Shazam! Fury of the Gods finally hit theaters, serving as a sequel to one of DC's most acclaimed movies. Unfortunately, Warner Brothers won't be popping champagne this time around, as the follow-up had an absolutely abysmal opening weekend, taking in far less than its predecessor on a larger budget. In short, this franchise is probably dead in the water. So it took in $30.5 million. This was below industry estimates, which had it making around $40 million, which still would have been bad. And let's be very clear, even that would have been extremely disappointing, given that the original opened with $53.5 million, like 4 years ago. Internationally, Fury of the Gods also fizzled with just $35 million, so it opened with $65 million worldwide. Jeez. Including a dismal $4.4 million in China. Ooh, that real bad. That gave it a global opening, $65 million. The film is set to carry a budget of $125 million, which means that it needs to get to $500 million to break even using movie math, which is a lot. And I don't think it'll get there because it's only made, 12% of its budget so far? 11%? Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. And I don't even think I see you saying here that this is like superhero fatigue. I don't think this is superhero fatigue. I think generally the impression of the original Shazam was like a shrugging of the shoulders, like, yeah, it was fine. And so like you're not going to get a lot of people excited to go out to see a movie that was like just fine, you know? Marvel's able to do that because they have an interconnected story that a lot of diehards still care about. But like, who at this point, who amongst us gives a shit about the interconnected storylines of the DCEU? Nobody. And that's why they're going to be resetting the whole thing with the Flash movie. So yeah. What went wrong? What went wrong? Probably no one gave a shit. Yeah, that would be my guess. Also, has anyone here seen 65? Not a great movie. Not a fan of that. What do I think of this story? About what story? Henry Cavill was in Black Adam and he tweeted his comeback, but James Gunn fired Henry Cavill and plans to reboot DCEU. Yeah. Chris Rock would have gone to the hospital that night if The Rock slapped Chris Rock. Yeah. Rock on rock violence. You don't like to see that. I think one of the reasons Shazam 2 flopped is slow and steady superhero fatigue, if you can call it slow and steady. I also think people maybe got a bit fatigued with this movie continually being promoted and then pushed back. Like, how many times... When was this movie initially supposed to come out, right? Like, a couple of years ago, and I think it's just been pushed back over and over and over again. Shazam was a 6 out of 10, but it was better than 90% of the DC movies at the time. Jeez. Yeah, that's not great. Have you seen the trailers for A Good Person? Florence Pugh and Morgan Freeman. I'd like to see it, but I'm cautious. Looks like a feel-good Hallmark movie type with better actors. Who's directing it? That'll tell you one way or the other. Molly Shannon, Zoe Lister-Jones, being directed by Zach Braff. Interesting. And I don't know if that's interesting in a good or bad way. What has he directed? Production work. Shrinking, which I did... Oh, it's an episode of Shrinking. An episode of Solos. He directed an episode of Ted Lasso? Weird. Okay. Going in Style. Okay, he directed that movie. I had no idea he did that movie with... with Freeman, Kane, and Arkin. That's wild. Wish I Was Here. Directed himself in a movie that no one saw. I guess he did some directorial stuff in Scrubs. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it ends up being a Hallmark movie if Zach Braff is going to be directing it, but I also don't know if it's going to be good. I mean, it's got Florence Pugh in it, so we love that. When is it coming out? March 8th. Or March 24th, excuse me. Well, it's already been released, so we should have some reviews for it, right? Maybe not. Do you ever watch Chuck with Zachary Levi? Like the first season, I think I watched Chuck. I didn't watch beyond that, though. I want to see Inside with Willem Dafoe so bad, but not playing anywhere near me. Don't worry, it'll get there eventually. I'm sure that's a film that'll get a bit of traction. Everyone loves Willem Dafoe. Okay. I remember the marketing for Black Adam. They said the power hierarchy in the DCU will be reshuffled, but I came away from the movie with the impression that Superman would crush Black Adam. Yeah, I mean, I think they were somewhat relying on Black Adam to be maybe the first soft reset of the DCEU and like create some new interesting storylines for them to go after and to look at. But then no one gave a shit about it and it wasn't a good movie. So they were like, all right, let's do it with The Flash instead. And then if you know, if Black Adam is good, then we can keep The Rock around because he's a box office draw, but then he wasn't. So what are you gonna do? Speaking of TV directing, I would love to see Todd Field direct an episode of Severance or Vince Gilligan's upcoming sci-fi series with Ray Seahorn. Vince Gilligan, yeah, that'd be cool. And I did watch Scrubs. I've seen all of Scrubs. Florence Pugh, always brilliant. Very true. All right, another little bit of box office news, everybody. Just wanted to make you all aware that we will definitely be getting more Scream movies because Scream 6 just became the 5th Scream movie to pass $100 million worldwide. So if you are suffering from Ghostface fatigue, that's too bad. They haven't announced a Scream 7, just to be clear, but there's no way that they are going to leave that kind of money on the table. Let's take a quick look and see what the Scream 6 budget was. I'm going to assume that it was around, like, what, 40 million? 33 to 35 million. So it's already broken even. It's already broken even. So yeah, we are going to be getting more Scream films for sure. For sure. I would be stunned if we did not get another one. What about Scream 5? What was its yeah, what about this guy? It made 138 million on 24 million. So Scream 6 has got a bit of a way to go, but it did have like the best opening of any Scream movie ever. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting Screams forever. And let me know in the chat if you think that's good or not. Did you see Scream 6 and did you like it? I enjoyed it. It's flawed, but I had fun with it. I haven't seen Scream 6, but I feel like if it were actually take place in New York, he'd be shot in like 4 minutes. You know, they actually do a scene where he almost gets shot. They allude to it in one of the trailers. Rocco, you have gunk in your eye. Ew. Ew. Yeah, there's a moment in Scream 6 where Ghostface almost gets shot. But yeah, there's a couple of sequences in Scream 6 that are really, really, really good. The convenience store scene and the subway scene, they're just cut together so well. And actually, I'll just do this as a little bit of a self pat on the back. It's not even a pat on the back. It's more just like the one time where someone I know in the industry has gone on to do something good. I've actually worked with the editor of Scream 6 before. His name's Jay Petridney. Petridney? Jay Petridney. Yeah. He was the lead editor on a couple of TV shows that I worked on as an assistant video editor. So I guess he's my boss. Or was my boss? Yeah, he was my boss a couple of times. Then he went on and he edited Scream 6. He also edited Wednesday on Netflix. And he's done some other stuff. But yeah, he's a pretty good editor. So I'm happy to see that he's getting these big pictures now. I haven't seen a single Scream. A sequel that I wouldn't mind is one of Barbarian. The concept can be expanded on. How would you expand on that, Chat GPT? How? Please write one paragraph about how the plot to 2022 film Barbarian can be expanded. Always say please. And I think that was the last bit of movie news that I wanted to bring up. With Scream and Top Gun being big box office hits, imagine a Scream Top Gun crossover. Could you imagine a guy in a ghost-faced mask chasing Tom Cruise around in like a MiG-28 trying to shoot down Tom Cruise? That would get all of my money so fast. I would not only be there at the first screening possible, I would pre-order the 4K, I would buy all the novelty merchandise at the Cineplex, I would get all the Funko Pops. Like, imagine the Funko Pop where it's Ghostface wearing like the Top Gun jumpsuit. I don't care if those are useless pieces of plastic, I'd buy that. That's awesome. ChatGPT can't do references past 2021, I think. Ooh, we'll see about that. No, it's working with it right here. Barbarian is a 2020... Oh, Jesus. I need to drink stuff. Excuse me. The tequila is good. Barbarian is a 2022 film about a lone warrior who sets out to rescue his kidnapped... Wait, what? That's not right. Oh, this is writing an original film. I think. What? Barbarian is a 2020 film about a lone warrior who gets out to rescue his kidnapped daughter from a band of... While the film is a compelling plot, there are several... Oh, wait, this is a different... This is different. This is a different Barbarian film. Oh, wait, is it Barbarians? No, I can't remember. Who would you like to see in a leading role in a Quentin Tarantino last movie, The Movie Critic? Oh, who would I like to see as a leading role in Quentin Tarantino's last movie, The Movie Critic? Let's think about this. I wonder if for his last film, if he would bring together like all of his favorite actors from all of the films he's ever worked on with, right? Like, Christoph Waltz, I imagine, will be in the film. God also imagine that he would offer a role to maybe... Actually, you know what? If he did a movie with Samuel L. Jackson in the league, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Because Samuel L. Jackson's always been like a secondary character in all of his films. So doing like a leading film with Samuel L. Jackson, that would be kind of great. And then you could use that as an excuse to get into the history of like black cinema in America, which would be interesting. Walter Goggins would be in a Tarantino film? Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Oh, it's a female lead. Anna de Armas would be great. I mean, Jessie Buckley. Jessie Buckley is the lead in The Movie Critic because of her imitation of Pauline Kael in I'm Thinking of Ending Things. I mean, yeah, you guys all saw me react to the Oscars. You know I like Jessie Buckley. So yeah, Jessie Buckley, that sounds like a good one to me. I'm on board. I'm there for it. Also, Liam, I love this idea of a Ghostface volleyball scene. just like a bunch of dudes and ladies hanging around playing beach volleyball, but they're all wearing Ghostface masks. And then like one of them turns out to be the killer, but no one knows who it is because everyone keeps their mask on or something. My God. ChatGPT, scream Top Gun, please. Can you, I mean, this is just a great idea. Can you please write a short film script for a Scream and Top Gun crossover movie? I'm worried that just saying Scream is a bit too generic. Oh my God. The name of the film is Top Scream. No. Oh no. All right. We'll come back to that in a second once it's done writing. But yeah, why don't we check in and see what's going on here in r/movies? Maybe we can, I don't know, make fun of people who say stupid things on Reddit. Maybe that'll be a fun new thing. So, okay. I saw this trailer thing pop up. Is this a movie? Is this a movie, this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers thing? Should we watch this? Should we try to watch this? I know Netflix, like, always claims my live streams, but I don't really care about that so much anymore. Let's see. $1 a month is going towards. I mean, that might be fun for, like, a nostalgia factor type thing. I don't know, though. What are people saying about it, actually? This is bizarre, but I'm excited, but what the fuck? Yo, that is, I think, the correct response to whatever we just watched. I'm sorry, but it seems like a parody trailer. Not like a parody trailer, but it does seem like it's a fan movie, right? Like if you were to go and you were to watch some of the fan movies put together for Star Trek and stuff like that, they have a similar feel and a similar budgetary look to them, right? Like you can tell that they weren't made with a lot of cash. And based on some of the CGI that we saw in that trailer, yeah, not a lot of cash was spent on this. Now Power Rangers 2017 is a movie that we've all forgotten. I actually didn't mind that movie. I thought it was one of those movies that could have been good if it was just, you know, done a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's a very easy thing to say about all movies in general, but I think there was something, I don't know. It like just was, it was different enough than the other bullshit that we were getting at the time that I was able to enjoy it. It was almost like someone took a Michael Bay film, certainly aesthetically and with like color saturation and the look of it and everything, but just dialed it back like a little bit so it wasn't so over the top ridiculous and way too fast and like crazy. And I think that actually worked well. All right, should we look at the top Scream script? Oh God. Yo, there's almost no dialogue in this. The hell? All right, logline. When a group of Top Gun pilots are targeted by a new Ghostface killer, they must fight for their lives both in the air and on the ground. Oh my God, yes. Opening shot. A fighter jet takes off into the sky. Let me set the mood for you. Bow, 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 bow. All right, now that we're all in the mood, also imagine that Danger Zone is playing while I read the rest of this. Exterior, Top Gun Academy, day. We see a group of elite pilots, including our protagonist, Maverick, engaging in high-stakes training exercise. They are the best of the best, and they know it. Suddenly, they receive a distress call from a nearby civilian plane that's in trouble. Without hesitation, they spring into action and take off to assist. Which I don't know if they're allowed to do, because the American military is not allowed to deploy in America. I don't know. I'm sure it's fine. Interior, civilian plane, day. We see a group of passengers, including the new Ghostface killer, who has disguised himself as a passenger. The killer has a plan to take down the Top Gun pilots and prove himself as the ultimate villain. What? How is he going to do that from a civilian plane? As the pilots attempt to save the plane, and I don't know how they're attempting to do this because they're in planes, right? So they're just flying beside the civilian plane. The killer strikes, taking down several of them in quick succession. What? Maverick and a few other survivors make it out, but they're left shaken and traumatized by a brutal attack. Wait. Does ChatGPT not know how planes work? I'm just rereading this. Suddenly they receive a distress call from a nearby civilian plane that's in trouble. And like they're in a high stakes training exercise, which means they're in the air, right? Like that makes sense. Okay. So they're left shaken after the brutal attack. Let's just get to the end and see what's going on here. From this point on, the film becomes a high stakes game of cat and mouse between the remaining pilots and the Ghostface killer. The killer continues to target them both in the air and on the ground, making it clear that he's not going to stop until he's taken them all down. How is this happening? In a final showdown, Maverick and the killer engage in a death-defying aerial battle, with both of them pushing themselves to their limits. Ultimately, Maverick emerges victorious, but not before the killer reveals that he was once a Top Gun pilot himself, driven to madness by the pressure and competition. That's actually kind of a cool twist. As the film ends, we see Maverick and the other survivors battered and bruised, but still standing, reflecting on the price of greatness and the dangers that come with it. Not a bad ending, although I have a lot of questions about how this movie would work, like from scene to scene to scene. What about you, Rocco? What do you think about that? No? Not into it? The fur critic has spoken. What else we got going down here? Michelle Yeoh performed most of her own stunts in her films despite not having prior martial arts training. Yeah, Michelle Yeoh's a badass. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. TJ, your thoughts on Jar Jar Binks actor Ahmed Best returns to Star Wars universe as Mandalorian Jedi. There's Mandalorian Jedi now? I thought Mandalores hate Jedi. I don't know. I guess that's fine. Like, is it a CGI character? Like, how is that working? They can do whatever they want, honestly. I'm not that interested in Star Wars anymore. It's not the kind of news that brings me back to Star Wars or makes me nostalgic for Star Wars. Also, the new Renfield trailer came out today. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but it kind of makes the movie look a lot worse. Like, a lot worse than it did before. So check that out in your own time if you feel like it, if you want to. But I'm now less excited for Renfield than I was, a month ago. Ahmed Best appears in a flashback scene saving Baby Yoda. I guess that's fine. It's kind of weird that we've got a Mandalorian Jedi. I thought there were no Mandalorian Jedi. We're getting a Cheech and Chong biopic movie? All right. It's going to be very hazy. They should get Claire Mathon to do the cinematography. Ooh, interesting debate discussion here to look at. What sci-fi movie of the 2010s will be remembered as being the most prescient? What do you guys think? What movie will be people saying in 20, 30, 50 years, yep, nailed, yep, nailed what we've become? Oh, the movie that's like going to be the most, that best predicts our future. Personally, I think Ex Machina and Her will both take interesting looks at what our future relationships with AI may grow into. We are getting closer to the point of being fooled more and more easily. Arrival's look at the divisiveness and unity of language feels pretty powerful right now. What do y'all think? Fury Road for sure. Pedro, I hate to say it, but I think you're right. We're going to be fucked in the future, man. We're fucked right now. Her, definitely. Dory saying Interstellar will be the most prescient. Hey, man, I'm all for that interstellar travel. Let's do it. Is Steven Soderbergh's Contagion from 2011 considered sci-fi? No, but also, yeah, that's pretty prescient, I think. Let's see. What are some other good responses here? I realize this is specifically about movies, but there's several episodes of Black Mirror. Oh, come on, we're not going to talk about Black Mirror on r/movies. Come on, man. What are you thinking? Blade Runner 2049. Humanity becoming less... Well, why don't we just say Blade Runner then? Humanity becoming less human. We see throughout the film that humans are less social and even more empathetic as well. San Diego being a landfill because we're running out of space for our trash. I mean, just Blade Runner then. Just Blade Runner. Children of Men, it depicts a future in which xenophobia is on the rise. Inequality continues to grow. I mean, Children of Men specifically, it's not just like xenophobia is on the rise. Like in Children of Men, a fascist government has taken over. You know, like xenophobia, that's not xenophobia on the rise. That's xenophobia. That's the end game of xenophobia is fascism. Inequality continues to grow between the rich and poor. Also fascism. Just look at the Nazis. They were definitely very capitalist. And we all know that the purpose of capitalism is to transfer wealth from the poor to the rich. Economic depression has ravaged the world. Yeah, that's probably not a bad one. Dory saying Wandering Earth? God, I hope not. I do not want to live on a planet where I one day have to watch a government official look me dead in the eyes and say, look, the sun is going to expand in 100 years, and our best bet is to build like 3,000 engines on the Earth and then move the Earth to a different solar system. I never want to hear a politician say that, because instantly, right then, in that moment, I know that humanity will perish, because there is no way we as a collective group would be able to pursue and achieve that dream. Also, since you just mentioned The Wandering Earth, it made me think about The Expanse for no reason at all. But I do think that like a lot of the elements of The Expanse, the television series and the book series, not so much the whole, you know, extraterrestrial parts of it, but like the way how capitalism has continued to grow unfettered. There are just mega rich people now. You know, there's new inequality in between Earth and Mars and the belt, and like, you know, just that seems, I think, probably the most true of what's potentially going to happen. Her already looks very prescient. No kidding. Snowpiercer most prescient. Oh no, I don't want to eat crickets. That sounds bad. Idiocracy is not far off from today. Fair point. Shape of Water. Yeah, we all want to have sex with a fish, I get. For sci-fi, I don't know why, but Prometheus immediately popped into my head. Not my pick, but someone probably. Oh, that's interesting. Like, obviously not the alien part of it, but just like the way that the society is organized. Like, I guess we're talking about Alien at that point, right? Like, you know, Mother and the corporation. I mean, that like Alien is again like another film that kind of shows you what society will look like, you know, far enough down the line if capitalism continues to be the dominant economic form of our society. You know, big corporation heartlessly sends a bunch of people to a place so they can get infected by a thing so they can study it and like all this shit. Like, that's exactly what's going to happen, because you got to have the profits going up. Otherwise, you're doing bad. That's what capitalism is. Never Let Me Go 2010 most prescient. Everybody needs replacement organs. Yeah, that's a good one. Chappie 2015 most prescient. AI overlords. All right. Crimes of the Future. I hope not, man. I don't want to eat plastic. I know you don't watch One Piece, but do chat GBT of Dune One Piece crossover. I don't even know what that would be. What would that look like? Josephine, I invite you to do that on your own, because that's not movie inspired. That's not all movies. What are your favorite romance films of all time? Her, The AI's Back, The Apartment, A Bride. I'm not. The Apartment's a great movie. I'm just like, how much of a romance film is it? I guess it is. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, In the Mood for Love, Love and Basketball. The weird thing about this question is like, all films from like the classic Hollywood period are in some way romance films. Like, there is, like, universally, almost universally, there is going to be a hetero a hetero couple at the center of the film, and like the film pretty much ends with them like kissing at the end. You know, that's true of comedies. That's somewhat true of the horror films of the time, I believe. Oh, also, someone asked me about Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, and I am all about it. Mia Goth is on it. Guillermo del Toro like loves Frankenstein more than anything else. Like that's literally true. If you ever have the chance to see the Guillermo del Toro traveling exhibit that kind of recreates all the stuff that he owns and all of his memorabilia and shit like that, the dude loves Frankenstein. No one loves Frankenstein more than Guillermo del Toro. So him doing a version of that will be dope. I hope it's extremely similar to the book. I imagine he'll do it in his way. Scott Pilgrim is the best romance film, and you can't tell me otherwise. I mean, it's about a guy who's 23, I think, who's dating a high schooler, and that's who he ends up with at the end of the movie. So I'm just hitting something up here. So I have to disagree with that a little bit. Mortal Engines was most prescient. City on Wheels. Sorry, Josephine. Yeah, I'm not going to do that particular one. Pride and Prejudice is up there. Yeah, Pride and Prejudice is pretty sick. I'll see you all later. I'm going to go challenge myself to try and watch as much of Ghost Ship as I can because it's the only movie that absolutely terrifies me. Really? Ghost Ship? Ghost Ship? Huh. I don't think I've seen Ghost Ship. Is it really that scary? I still hope Del Toro will make Lovecraft films. I'm sure he will. Sunrise, A Song of Two Lovers is amazing. That is a great movie from like, what, 1928? I think? Yeah, really good. Bones and All, best romance movie? Hey, you're not wrong. The Lighthouse is my favorite romance. Gross. A lot of fish sex going on in the chat for some reason. I watched Ghost Ship while on a cruise. Why would you do that to yourself? That's not what happens, LOL, but okay. Wait, what? Yeah, it is. Scott Pilgrim is actually like a bad character, you know? Like he's a bad dude. He starts off dating a high schooler, and then he starts fantasizing about this manic pixie dream girl, and then at the end he's like, I maybe am not the cool person, and then he like walks off with Knives Chow at the end. It's a really good movie, but it's not something that I would look at and say, oh, that's a romance movie, or a great example of romance. Is The Worst Person in the World romance? It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy, certainly. It's tragic. It's maybe a tragic romance film is the best way of saying it. Downsizing 2017, most prescient, tricking people to save money. Yeah. What is your favorite Western movie of all time? What is up with all of these discussions? I mean, these are good answers, but they're so boring. You know? Man with No Name trilogy, Unforgiven, and Once Upon a Time in the West. Like, yeah, Once Upon a Time in the West is probably the best Western ever made, but... like, are there any better... The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance is amazing. Yeah, that's a really good one. What else? Once Upon a Time in the West, absolute masterpiece. Yep. 100% agree with that. I love how there's a character in that movie just named Harmonica, and he's so badass. Unforgiven. Ugh. Come on, give me some other stuff here. Yeah, Butch Cassidy. High Noon. Fuck, High Noon is great. High Noon is really good. Like this, the entire idea of this guy who has helped out a community for so long, looking around for help for like an hour and a half before he's meant to have a final duel, and not receiving any help is just so tragic, and it's great. It's great. Treasure of Sierra Madre is good as well. Although, is it more of a noir film? Maybe I'm confusing it with a different one. Ballad of Buster Scruggs I'm not a big fan of, though. TJ, don't cancel me, but Blazing Saddles Best Western. Why would I cancel you for that? It's a good movie. I love The Revenant. Nice. Nobody's saying Tombstone? Hey, you're right. No one is saying Tombstone. There we go. We just found someone who said Tombstone. Let's give that an upvote. Why, Johnny Ringo, you look like somebody just walked over your grave. Evidently, Johnny Ringo is an educated man. Now I really hate him. He reminds me of me. God, I love it. Are these all just going to be quotes? Yes. I'm your Huckleberry. TJ, are you a fan of The Quick and the Dead? Yep. When the guy who does Evil Dead decides to direct a Western movie, yeah, you better believe I'm about that. And I actually saw The Quick and the Dead before I knew who Sam Raimi was. And really, before I knew Leonardo DiCaprio was. Yeah, that was great. I really loved watching The Quick and the Dead when I was a kid. I think my parents rented it on VHS, actually. Slow West, man, haven't seen that in a while. Someone asked me something up here. Hold on, I gotta find that again. Royal Tenenbaums has a beautiful love story. Interesting. Oh yeah, here we go, from Paul. I've been meaning to ask, what did you think of Eleanor or Leonore Will Never Die? Really good. I think it's a great love letter to the art of making a film and the roles that people play in those films, and how important an individual can be, not only to the making of a film, but the development of culture and, myth making, storytelling in a particular culture. Leonora Will Never Die is very, very good. Sharon Stone lost half her money during banking collapse. Really? So she only has millions of dollars left? Oh no. Bakura is very good too. TJ, I agree with you, man. Thanks so much for the stream. Yeah, I cried at the very end of that film. Yeah, it's a bit of a heavy film, eh? I think now I'm just going to keep reading Tombstone quotes. The scene by the river after the gunfight with Curly Bill. Doc begins coughing violently. Doc, you ought to be in bed. What the hell you doing this for anyway? Wyatt Earp is my friend. Hell, I got lots of friends. I don't. I'm a Huckleberry. You're damn right you're scared. I can see it in your eyes. You gonna do something about it or just stand there and bleed? Go ahead, skin it. Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens. God, I love that scene so much. I love that. I love that scene so much. Every town is a story. Tombstone has a legend. Yo, I like that. The Shining book sets records straight on Kubrick's multiple takes, Shelley Duvall, and cheese sandwiches. Oh, so I guess we're getting like a new book about the making of The Shining? Wait, what is this? Steven Spielberg's defense of Kubrick's version of Wendy is certainly something I didn't consider and makes total sense. Ultimately, the only thing in the story that can save little Danny is Wendy, but Wendy seems weak. So all the suspense for me is, will Wendy be strong enough to stand up to Jack and save her son? And that's why Shelley Duvall's performance is, I think, equal to Jack Nicholson's. Her performance is as good as Jack's, and Jack's is as good as Shelley's. Oh, interesting. It's a good take. I like that. Although I don't know, like, why anyone would say that Shelley Duvall puts in a bad performance. Like, she was essentially tortured in that film mentally. So yeah, the performance was good because Stanley Kubrick tortured a performance out of her. What are people saying here? Let's not forget the other Western with character named Doc, Back to the Future Part 3. How could we forget that? Favorite Australian movie or movie set in Australia? I really like Mad Max Part 2. I really like Wake and Fright. Wake and Fright you should definitely watch. If you're looking for Australian films to check out, Wake and Fright is an absolute must. I haven't seen, like, The Picnic at Hanging Rock or whatever it's called. Yeah. High Tide, I actually really like High Tide, mostly because of the saxophone. But High Tide is good. Yeah, you should probably watch Picnic at Hanging Rock if you haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, and I should probably watch it. Better film, Quick and the Dead or Young Guns 1? I've only seen Quick and the Dead. I haven't seen the original Young Guns, so I'm going to have to pick that one. What else we got going on here? Return to Silent Hill, casting news, plus confirmation of the storyline for new movie reboot. Hooray! Oh, someone just posted like a full-ass movie, Monte Carlo Nights from 1934? Nice. The Mad Max video game from 2014 is super good. I did not know that. Fave Judy Davis performance. I don't know how many Judy Davis films I've ever seen. By the way, everyone, as per custom, I will be logging off in probably 2 minutes or so. So if you have any final things that you want to say or get off your chest, do so now while I look up Judy Davis and films that I have seen her in. Oh, shit. She was in Naked Lunch? Interesting. Yeah, let's sort on the ones that I have actually seen. So, I mean, Knitram... Are we talking about her performance? Yeah, okay, yeah, her performance. Her performance in Knitram is pretty great. I don't remember her in Barton Fink. I don't remember her in Absolute Power. The hell's up with that? And it looks like I haven't seen a lot of her other, like, big films. Like High Tide. Well, I've seen High Tide, but there's a lot of other stuff that she's done. Yeah. I guess out of these, it would be a toss-up between Knitram and High Tide. So I'm going to say High Tide, because I think she had a bit more to do in High Tide. Like, she was more of the central character. So yeah, High Tide. It's High Tide. Best Cronenberg film. David Cronenberg? I mean, his best film is... Well, shit. His best film is Dead Ringers. But I think Videodrome is a bit more rewatchable for me. I would say both of those films are his best film. Are like those are his top 2 films. I think Dead Ringers is the better film, but I think Videodrome is the more rewatchable film. Have you seen Mississippi Burning? Yes, I'm pretty sure I have. I'm about to watch it because it was nominated for Oscars, but I've never heard of it. Yeah, it's good. It's decent from what I remember. I watched my first David Lynch film, and boy, it was Eraserhead. Well, I hope you continue to move on from that, because he has made a lot of great stuff. And on that note, everyone, as I remind you to please continue to watch David Lynch films, because one day he will not be around, but his films will be. So I don't know why I just said that. It doesn't make any sense. But thank you once again so much for watching. If you haven't already, please join us on the Discord. Link in the description box below. I also have a Patreon, which you can donate to if you wish. We will be having the exclusive Patreon live stream in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that. I am ready for Baseball 2023. The World Baseball Classic final game yesterday was pretty sick. Congrats to Japan. That was really cool. And go Jays go. And I think that's about it. Thank you once again for joining, and I will see you next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I think that's all. I think that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, I'm done. Have a good night, everybody.
Get off my plane.
He's looking at you, kid.
I have been, and always shall be, your friend.
The Force will be with you, always.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Hasta la vista, baby.